Oi, oi, G words. Marvel vs. DC podcast.
What?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Marvel vs. DC.
Yeah, I was just my earphones in.
Oh yeah. Anyways,
More sp- more specifically, the MCU and the DCEU.
yeah. Where shall we start then?
Ah, Phase 5. Wow,
Phase 5.
the Comic Con announcements. Crazy.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm still like very skeptical. I was like, I was excited for Phase 4, but then it really disappointed. So I don't know. I don't know.
I haven't even seen Miss Marvel yet.
I haven't seen Miss Marvel or the Captain America show or
Falcon and the
whatever.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
Uh, y- not all that. Not all that. The villain is really annoying, but they tried to make her like compelling, but she's just not. She's just simply annoying.
wait. I thought it was like Zemo.
Ah, he's more of a he actually sort of works with them, like Falcon and Bucky.
What? So they built up to Zemo, but then he's not even the main villain.
Nah, and he only wears his purple mask once.
Ah, bro. That's just my bar was low for that shit, but now it's gotten even lower.
John Walker was good though.
Ah, bro. I'm gonna be honest. The only film that's really impressed me with Phase 4 was Spider-Man. Uh,
Shang-Chi was pretty good as well.
Shang-Chi was pretty good.
Good
When
villain.
I watched Doctor Strange, I'd say it was pretty good, but it's only pretty good if you watch WandaVision or Loki or any other of the multiverse shit in the MCU. If you just take that away, because I watched this with my mum and my sister. They didn't watch any of this shit. They didn't watch WandaVision. They don't like it at all, and that's because they didn't watch WandaVision. They they haven't done their homework, which
Silly.
deeply flaws the film a lot.
I think my biggest flaw of the film is probably it didn't seem to really take its time that much. Like it sort of felt like it was in a rush to like get from one point to another point. Like there's never like many moments to breathe.
I don't get it. In WandaVision, right? The whole point of making that fucking the whole point of mind controlling them people and turning that town into whatever the hell TV show town was because she lost Vision, and now she cares more about these made up children, than Vision.
That's because the dark hold in it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like corrupting her. That's the right word to use. Similar to how the Mind Stone in Avengers was apparently corrupting Loki, and it's what made him so evil.
I don't know.
Wanda was pretty good. I'd say Wanda, Green Goblin, and Wenwu from Shang-Chi are the best favorable villains. And apart from those three, most of the Phase 4 villains were pretty dead. But yeah, again, I haven't watched Miss Marvel yet or Thor: Love and Thunder, so maybe they have better villains. I
For
don't
Love
know.
and Thunder was so shit. It really pains me as well because some of the actors, Christian Bale and fucking Chris Hemsworth and all that, were trying their best with what they were given. Like Christian Bale, his acting is great, but the thing is, the script just so shit.
Apparently, this is what I've heard. Apparently, basically every line of dialogue Thor says just leads to a joke.
Yeah, yeah. It tries to be funny, but it's really not.
I don't even know who the villain of Miss Marvel is. I don't even know if there is a villain.
The villain is fucking that woman that said, "Oh my God, you could still got an Avenger shirt" in the trailer.
I reckon the biggest villain that Miss Marvel would have to face, which would be like the ultimate series finale, would be a British fascist because they're a strong foe. They are.
Oh my God. Moon Knight. Moon Knight was fun for the first three episodes, and then the last three, it was so rushed, man. Oh my God.
Bro, it's quite sad with Moon Knight because when I was watching like the first three episodes, I was thinking this is gonna end up being like the best Marvel Disney Plus show, and then it just doesn't end up being like that. And now that I think about it, sort of nearly every Disney Plus show has been like that, where it starts off really good, and I'm thinking, oh, this will be the best one, but then it's just not by the end.
What If was a weird one because in the middle it was like, yeah, this is some good shit. And then at the end, I don't know, like they had to have that What If Gamora
Oh
episode.
yeah,
And
yeah, that
that was stupid as well because the machine she had didn't even work, so why was she even in the episode? Who is she?
just felt out of place. I know why it feels out of place. There was going to be another episode, but they couldn't make it due to like coronavirus. But in that case, then you should have just like delayed the whole show because it felt so weird. I mean, what if is probably one of my least favorite things in the MCU, if you even class it as a part of the MCU, because I mean, some of the episodes they're either badly paced or they just go way too far with the actual what if scenario to the point where you wouldn't believe that thing would actually happen if something in the MCU went differently. Like, for example, if T'Challa was Star Lord, I don't think all the shit with Thanos becoming a good guy would have happened. So it just makes it less entertaining to watch because you just can't really believe these scenarios.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. The first What If episode was mid as well. The second
Yeah,
one was decent, but T'Challa was like too much of a Mary Sue, Marty Sue.
Harry Stu, or whatever they call him, the male one.
What was the third one again?
The third one was the murder mystery thing with Hank Pym.
Oh, that one was pretty top actually. Um, what was the fourth one? Was that the zombies one or the?
Nah, I'd say the fourth episode was the best one, and that was the Doctor Strange one.
That one was top. That one was top. Uh, the fifth one wasn't that
Zombie.
zombies. Zombies.
Yeah, I was so disappointed with Zombie.
Zombies
I
was okay. It's just like a cartoon. It's just like the most cartoony shit in that show.
It felt so stupid
Yeah.
because there was this one scene where Scott was just a head in a glass. One of his mates died, and he just made a random joke. Like, it feels like a cartoon instead of a what if MCU show.
Yeah. And then wasn't the one after like the second to the finale? Like what if the guy broke his oath?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was. Oh wait, no, that was what if Ultron won? Decent.
oh yeah. Ultron was pretty cool in that show.
Yeah. And then the last episode, it falls so badly because of Gamora. If Gamora wasn't in that episode, actually we forgot The four party one. This is this is how
That was just
forgettable some of
stupid.
those episodes are, bro. What the?
I mean, that show was stupid, but at the same time, um, we did have a fight between Captain Marvel and Thor, and so that sort of ended the debate of who's stronger. But I'm going to be completely honest, I completely forgot who even won that fight.
I'm pretty sure Thor put his hammer on fucking Captain Marvel, and then that's what won.
Oh, I mean, yeah, What If is one of my least favorite things to come out of the MCU, and so are a lot of Phase 4 projects. But I'm going to be honest, even though they were kind of mid, I wouldn't say I like dislike anything I've seen. Like, yeah, they can be kind of disappointing, but I feel like each show has something that sort of saves it. Like, I wasn't a big fan of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but John Walker as US agent being this sort of evil, well, I won't say evil, but a more brutal version of Captain America that is pretty cool, and that, in my opinion, saved the show.
I have no idea what you're talking about because I didn't see the show. But anyways, uh, Loki was decent, I guess.
This Disney Plus show, best Marvel one anyway.
Yeah, nothing beats Mando. Nothing beats Mando.
I haven't even seen Obi-Wan yet.
I haven't. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I watched the original trilogy. I watched the prequels. I watched Mandalorian. I watched Force Awakens, and then I just fell off Star Wars as quickly as I got into it because oh my god, it has some
Like,
high highs and some low lows. Everyone was hyping up the Clone Wars, and I just got disappointed. I was 2 episodes in, and I was like, this shit's boring, and I'm
I think
not
it's one of them
waiting.
shows. I think it's one of them shows that you really like have to get far into it to actually appreciate it. Because everyone says the first few seasons are the worst ones, but it gets better later.
Yeah,
But
but
even I can't be bothered with it. I watched like probably less than 10 episodes of the first season, and I gave up.
yeah,
But that's not
exactly.
really saying Clone Wars was that bad, because honestly, I give up on a lot of shows like less than 10 episodes in. I'd be. It's actually kind of rare for me to even finish one season of a show, just because I don't know. I just don't think TV shows are really that much my thing.
Yeah, I'm not wasting my time watching like 3 seasons to get to the good shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Uh,
anyways, back to Marvel, uh, and DC. Uh,
so Phase 5.
Phase
Um,
5.
it got me more excited for Marvel than I was before that. But I mean, Phase 5 itself wasn't really that interesting. There was only like two things in Phase 5 that really caught my interest, and that was uh Daredevil, Born Again, and Thunderbolts. That's the one. Thunderbolts.
I'm not really excited for any of this shit, right? But I can't say I'm not interested in some of this. Fucking Guardians 3.
Oh yeah, and that.
At
Forgot about that.
at worst, that's gonna be okay, right? Um, I hope
Judging by the
anyway.
leaked trailer, judging by the leaked trailer, it's it's probably going to be pretty good. It's probably going to be like one of the better MCU films in recent years.
Oh, that gives me hope then. Uh, Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is my favorite like superhero team, so I really hope they don't fuck that up. But
Yeah, Phase 6, start of Phase 6.
yeah, the other I kind of have a soft spot for the first ever like Fantastic Four movie, but then the other
The one from the
two,
90s,
uh, you know the one.
2004 one, or was
Oh,
it 2005?
it's the first one with Chris Evans.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I have a
There was one in
soft
the
spot.
90s.
I
There was
have a
one in the
soft
90s,
spot.
but no one cares about it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I still like. I don't know. I'd say right now that it's decent because I have a soft spot for it.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Silver
Oh,
Surfer was shit. The
yeah,
2015 one was
that was
mega
so
shit.
boring. That one was so boring. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the early 2000s one, but at least those two films were entertaining. The one in 2015 was just boring. Like, not even Miles Teller could save it, and he's usually quite a good actor. Like in films like Whiplash and the latest Top Gun.
Yeah, yeah,
But to be fair, Miles Teller has also been in some shit.
yeah.
But yeah, I think
I think it might be in some good hands.
yeah, Marvel Studios. I mean, I'm still kind of sad that John Watts isn't directing anymore.
Well, I don't know. That's uh, that's very sad to hear.
Is people want Brad Bird to direct? The guy who directed The Incredibles, and that would be pretty good.
That would be sick, man. Nah.
Since since The Incredibles is pretty similar to the Fantastic Four, and it's also like one of the best superhero films.
For who would know that the animated superhero films are actually the best ones?
I know, right? I think maybe it's just because you can do more with them visually. But to be fair, The Incredibles is good just mainly because it has a good story. I mean, superhero film set in the 60s and it has more mature themes. Animated, hell yeah, good shit.
In it, and that's before Pixar was dedicated to more mature themes as well.
Yeah, yeah. The good,
Anyways, Blade. I'm
yeah, I'm
actually, I'm interested, but I don't know. I feel like they're gonna make it more safe than Blade actually should be.
yeah, well, I've seen the old Blade films, the trilogy itself, and I did like the first two. Third one was quite shit, but the first two were good. I like the style. I like the gore, and I really liked Wesley Snipes himself as Blade. But I'm not sure if Marvel will be sticking too close to what people are familiar with when it comes to the Blade films. They'll probably do something new, probably make it more comedic and family friendly, and some vampire will show up behind Blade's back, and I'm sure he'll say, "He's right behind me, isn't he?" I mean, good casting though. Mahershala Ali, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I want to see some. I definitely want to see some blood and gore in that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there will be a lot of blood and gore. I think they'll push the rating in the US they call it PG-13, but over here we call it rated 12. So yeah, it'll be like rated 12, like every other
Boring.
MCU film. But they might like go as bloody as they possibly can, but still try and keep the rating.
It might get bumped up in the UK anyway, so what's the point? Like
Oh
fucking
yeah, like the
Venom.
Batman did and the Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't even watch Venom, and I was so upset about it. But when I actually bought it on DVD, it was such a mid film.
But it was legit right. How did that get bumped up to 15 in the UK? Didn't show
No,
any blood, man. Fucking Venom bites this guy's head off, all boo hoo. Legit. My sister, who was like 9 at the time, didn't even cry about it. What the hell?
And I mean, a lot of it is just Eddie complaining to Venom, Tom Hardy doing a bad American accent, being. I mean, Tom Hardy, in all fairness, he's not bad at doing American accents. He's just sort of kind of inconsistent. Like his voice can change sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, be more chatty, lad.
Be more chatty. Bro, it's like fucking 1 in the morning. Let's
Still
talk,
got 2 minutes.
there's the MCU, there's the Sony, whatever the fuck, and then there's the DCEU. Those are the
Yeah.
main three right now. And honestly, if the MCU is bad, then holy, what is Sony doing, man? Oh my god. That Venom 1, right? The first one was absolutely shit. So boring, by the way. The only entertainment in that movie was like the couple of cheesy lines that you could find.
I wouldn't
Uh,
say it's total shit. I'd just say it's mediocre. I mean, I gave it 2.5 stars on Letterboxd, which isn't terrible, but it's not really good either. It's only like um, in the middle because 2.5, half of five, and yeah, 5 stars. I know
yeah.
about shit.
And then you got Venom 2, right? Oh my god. Let's say it's better, but Venom is annoying in Venom 2. I'm gonna be honest. Carnage was a massive disappointment. Like, you could do so much. Like, Carnage is a scary villain, right? And then in Venom 2, right, he's just. I don't know, like, he's not even scary at all, man. I, Amber, the only good visual, like, moment in that whole movie was that weirdly creative scene where fucking whatever his name, Carnage, man writes a letter to Eddie, and it had like some weird cartoon.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I don't know what was going on with his kind of his girlfriend. It felt like she was just sort of there for the sake of it.
It's not even eye candy. I'm gonna be honest.
I know, mid.
In it, and then Morbius, man. I haven't seen this movie personally, but all I've heard about this movie is how shit it is, man. Oh my god! And then I've seen the credits here, right? What the hell? The script for that credit scene. Even I could see how bad it is. That is. Oh my god.
I'm still figuring this place out, but I think a bunch of guys like us should team up, do some good. Intriguing.
Oh my god.
Anyway, even if people find the MCU to be repetitive and disappointing these days, we cannot deny how well they have built up this cinematic universe and how they seem to plan everything out. I mean, they've got phase 5 and 6 already planned out. We know when the next Avengers films are coming and that they're likely going to be concluding the multiverse saga, similar to how Avengers Infinity War and Endgame concluded the Infinity Saga. So, at least, the
They're
MCU have got a
concluding this
plan.
shit already.
Yeah, it's only,
What?
taking. So they're concluding it in 2025, and the saga started in 2021. So that's like what 4 years, and the Infinity Saga took 10 years. They should really slow it down because if you're just gonna like end every saga every 4 years, then the hype is just not there anymore. Because you're just concluding it too quickly. Because the reason why there was so much hype for Endgame was because it's like 10 years of build up. This is only 4 years of build up. It's not much to get hyped about.
isn't it? Like, but even people that forum made fun of nerds for watching these shitty superhero movies were watching Endgame, and that is because it was hyped up. It had 10 years of build up. People were seeing, how hyped these nerds are for this nerdy ass movie. They were like, oh my god, this is gonna be the shit. You see how hyped they are? This is gonna be the shit. If the nerds aren't hyped up for fucking Secret Wars, no one else is gonna be. So, like,
Yeah, and even with my complaints of them rushing it and the hype won't be as big as it was with Infinity War and Endgame because they're just doing it too fast. I will admit though, I still am very excited for the next two Avengers films, especially Secret Wars. I actually own both Secret Wars stories. Um, I haven't read them, but I own them. Kang Dynasty Avengers. That's the next Avengers film, the one before Secret Wars. Um, I heard what the comic is about, and it's pretty cool. Basically, it's different eras of the Avengers fighting Kang. So just think what they could do with the MCU. They can bring back like literally everyone. They can bring back Black Widow, Iron Man.
T'Challa.
Uh, I mean, we could do a CGI one, or just do it with the mask on.
Bring back Prince of Fire. Oh my god. They need more build up, man. It's quantity over quality now, right
It
now,
isn't it?
especially. And again with the build up, they've only had 4 movies right now. Not even movies, 2 movies, 2 TV shows where they've had multiverse as like the main subject, right? They need to explore more of the multiverse to end the multiverse saga, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting more of that in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Bro, who wants to watch Ant Man and the Wasp for this multiverse shit though?
Me, did you see that leaked trailer? That shit was sexy. It's got MODOK in it.
Oh, never mind. I'm gonna watch this day one actually. Um,
Yeah,
my mind has been changed. Because a very sexy big-headed man is in it.
yeah. Another Marvel project that's doing more multiverse stuff is Loki season 2, and they're also doing What If season 2, if that counts. And what else? I mean, they will be doing a Doctor Strange 3, and they'll probably do some multiverse stuff with that. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do another Spider Verse film soon because, No Way Home was quite the success. And I heard Sony are definitely interested in doing more films with all three Spider Men. So we can expect one of those.
I want a
Uh,
I want a more like solo Spider-Man film first. So I
yeah,
don't care which one it is that they do it. I would rather them do either Tom Holland or Andrew Garfield, which is probably where the bets are on, mostly on Tom Holland. But yeah, I'd rather have like a more, you know, solo Spider-Man film, especially since they have like improved Tom Holland a lot. Like he has nothing now, and the story possibilities are really there with Tom Holland Spider Man. He's lost everything. His friends don't even know who he is, and he's going to school with these people. So yeah,
I think what they should do, which they might do, is they should do Spider-Man 4 in the MCU with Tom Holland. Make it a more grounded story, more street level. Make the villain someone like Scorpion, hopefully, or maybe Kingpin and Tombstone. Maybe even put Daredevil in there. Do a Spider-Man 5, make it similar, grounded and street level. And then they'll do Kang Dynasty, Avengers Kang Dynasty, and then after that movie, they'll do a Spider-Man 6 and they'll make that about the Spider-Verse, and then they can tie that in to Secret Wars. Maybe that's something they'd do, and yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, seems like Marvel has everything planned out, even if it does feel like quantity over quality, and a lot of the stories these days feel very straightforward and basic. They're still, they're still planning things out. They're world building. Yeah, they actually have a plan, which, we can't really say about the DCEU, the
Ah,
DC
yeah.
Extended Universe. They don't have a plan. Batgirl just got cancelled.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest, I forgot about the DCEU because everything has just been, with the DC, right? Everything's just been like they've made a movie. It's just its own thing. It's not a part of some extended universe, which is what I like, right? And that's been their more popular movies right now.
Yeah, like the Batman. That's my favorite DC movie at the moment, and it doesn't connect to anything. I mean, my personal three favorite DC films are like separate things, like they don't connect to any of the DCEU. No other heroes exist, they're just standalone stories. My favorite DC films are The Batman, The Dark Knight, and The Joker. You know, films that are just, just their own thing, really. They don't have the pressure of connecting to all these other movies and trying to keep with the continuity.
Yeah, yeah.
And in that case, Warner Brothers are able to give the writers and directors more freedom. And usually, when DC movies end up being bad, it's because of studio interference, which is quite common in the DCEU, especially with the whole Zack Snyder Justice League situation. And I'm no big, massive supporter of the Snyderverse. You know what the Snyderverse is, don't you?
Uh, you mean
Yeah,
like the original, like before they softly reboot it?
yeah. Like a lot of films were going to be directed by Zack Snyder, and they were actually going to build up to a big Justice League movie with Darkseid as the villain. Back when it felt like back when it felt like the DCEU was going somewhere, and
Uh,
they cancelled that because they thought the movies were too dark, and they wanted to be more like Marvel. So they got Joss Whedon to make the Justice League more, comedic and light-hearted. And then they didn't want anything to do with Zack Snyder. And ever since then, the DCEU has just been random movie after random movie leading to nothing. Random faceless Superman cameos. It's just all over the place.
and right, the DCU movies right now are wasn't it like started with Superman from ages ago, and then they brought it
It's,
back up randomly in like 2016 with Batman v Superman.
no, it wasn't that long ago. They did Man of Steel in 2013.
Man of Steel. I don't know if I've seen that. Was
Quite
it
good. Underrated movie.
what happened in Man of Steel? Was it the one where he got fucking the black Superman by the neck, and then he
Black
flung it?
Superman.
There was a black Superman, weren't there? Yeah, the like black Superman by the neck or something, or was it like the other way around? He was a laser eyes. It was in like a shopping center or bank or something. My memory's fucked. So, anyways, they have
Black
Batman v.
Superman.
There was a black Superman. No, he wasn't black, but like his clothing was black. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right.
Was it that?
You could have said that. What, and he kills him
Yeah, he
by
kills
snapping his
him.
neck.
Yeah, by snapping
Yeah.
his neck. Yeah, yeah, I seen that.
Yo, I
Pretty
swear, the
decent
amount of
film.
the amount of people who complain about Superman killing him is actually so dumb. Like, it's unbelievable how many people complain about that. Because it was either kill the bad guy who was trying to kill everyone, or let him kill a bunch of innocent people, and people complained about it. And it's just dumb because I feel like those same people would have complained if Superman just let him kill loads of random innocent people. So dumb.
So lose-lose situation.
Mm.
And then didn't they
And
come back randomly, like 3 years later, with fucking Batman v Superman?
yeah, they were
Batman v
really.
Superman was it made me fall asleep in the cinema. So
I don't
yeah,
dislike it, honestly. I don't dislike it. Like, the 3 hour version, I'd say, is at least decent. Like, a Batman v Superman film should be a lot better than it actually ended up being, but it was still pretty good. The fight scenes are solid, and I feel like Batman is pretty cool, especially in that warehouse scene. The warehouse scene's got to be one of probably the best Batman fight scene ever put on screen, and I feel like the plot itself is good, like the consequences of the events in Man of Steel. Uh, yeah, I feel like there's a bunch of good ideas thrown in there, but the execution's not too great. I feel like they were rushing the DCEU really by having Man of Steel, and then in the next movie introducing Batman and Wonder Woman and teasing the Justice League. Really rushing it, and yeah, but at the same time, I'd rather watch movies like Batman v Superman than be watching films like Wonder Woman 1984 and Black Adam, because even though Black Adam looks good, it still feels like the DCEU is going nowhere. But when Batman v Superman came out, we had the DC Trinity, the big three. It felt like they were leading to something, and that they had a plan. And that's yeah, it was like that until they decided to get rid of Zack Snyder. And I'm no big like Snyder supporter. Like, I think he's made some decent films, but I'm not gonna go out of my way and review bomb a Warner Brothers film just because they haven't hired Zack Snyder to do the Snyderverse. But yeah, I think if they brought Zack Snyder back and actually started trying to build up to something in the DCEU, would be so much better. But at the same time, I wouldn't want him to direct like every DCEU film because that would just start getting repetitive. Like, I want some other directors. But if he sort of like was a Kevin Feige type of overhead figure, then that would be okay, I suppose. I mean, looking at some of the ideas he had for Justice League 2, they sounded kind of weird, but I feel like it would be better than what's going on at the moment. So, sort of a sticky situation, but if you want my personal opinion, just cancel the DCEU and start making, you know, self-contained stories because, they're just better when they are, their own thing.
yeah, yeah. I couldn't say it any better. Yeah, but I feel like they should have at least had a Batman movie before Batman v Superman.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I mean, what they should have done is what they planned on doing after Batman v Superman, except, done it before Batman v Superman and done a film about Ben Affleck's Batman versus Deathstroke. That would have been
whoa,
pretty sexy, you know, with the Deathstroke versus Batman fights. They would have been mint,
yes,
but unfortunately, it never happened, and people still want it to this day and are begging for it. But to be honest, I'd rather have the Robert Pattinson films than that
yes,
because they're just better, aren't they?
yes.
Matt Reeves, very good director. I mean, Ben Affleck himself was supposed to direct the solo DCEU Batman film. And I'm going to be honest, I've not seen any films that were actually directed by Ben Affleck. But I'm sure it would have been good, but not on Matt Reeves' Batman level.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, what I really wanted to talk about is how the DCEU had so much potential and could have easily become better than the MCU. And one reason that I think the DCEU could have surpassed the MCU in terms of quality is the fact that Warner Brothers has the rights to all their characters, unlike Marvel. Because Marvel doesn't even have the full rights to Spider-Man, and he's like the most popular Marvel character and the character most people associate Marvel with. And it wasn't long ago when Marvel only just got the rights to the OG team, Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men, all that shit. But, Marvel had to deal with all that, but the DCEU, they've had their characters, every single one of them, for the longest time. So they didn't really have anything holding them back.
On top of that too, they Marvel almost lost Spider-Man, their most iconic character by far. Also, DC characters, especially Batman and Superman, are more like iconic than pretty much any Marvel character. The only character that really compares to Batman and Superman is Spider-Man. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he literally is. Spider-Man is actually like the only character who can be compared with Batman and Superman. And even then, Batman and Superman are more popular. So, yeah. Another reason why DC could have been better than the MCU is because the DCEU is run by Warner Brothers and the MCU is run by Disney. So there could be more variety because, DC can make more adult films, more mature content with more blood and more sensitive topics,
yes.
Like I remember in one scene in Batman v Superman, Batman saved a bunch of women from this guy who just locked them up in his basement. You would never see that in a Marvel film.
In the DC, doesn't it stand for like dark comics and shit?
Detective Comics.
I heard something uh about it being dark comics. Well, anyways, right. My point is, DC are more darker than Marvel, and it'll be nice to see that. But
Yeah. And personally, I used to be biased and not think this. I thought the complete opposite. But now I actually think the Justice League is a much more interesting group of characters than the Avengers. Not in movies, definitely not in movies, but in other media like animated TV shows and animated movies and comics and whatever video games. The Justice League are just way more interesting than the Avengers. Like, I like the idea of the fact that everyone in the Justice League has superpowers except for Batman. I feel like the characters bounce off each other better and have better chemistry than the Avengers do. And yeah, like we said before, DC, more iconic characters and all that shit. There's more for them to do. And I also like that the DCEU, this is something I like about the DCEU more than the MCU, is that heroes were established like like let me I'm gonna say that again. Heroes were like already established ever since the DCEU started. Like
yeah,
in Justice League and yeah, in Justice League it was established that there was like loads of mythology with like Earth's old defenders and how he fought Darkseid and they had Zeus and all that and Green Lanterns and there's also the new Black Adam movie which has the Justice Society of America, which is sort of like an old-fashioned Justice League. I just like the idea of that superheroes have been around for years and that the Justice League are only just a new modern version of an already existing group of heroes. I feel like that would just make for more interesting stories, especially if like they cross over with the Justice Society of America. I don't know. I just think that's cooler, and I think it's more realistic as well to have heroes already be a part of that universe is much more realistic than one hero randomly appears, and so now loads of them start appearing, and so do supervillains out of nowhere. Yeah, I just feel like superheroes always existing would just make a lot more sense. But Marvel didn't really go that route. Well, they might go that route. They could like introduce characters from medieval times who were superheroes, but at the moment there isn't really that much when it comes to old-fashioned characters. I mean, there's Captain America, but that's about it, and Thor, but he wasn't on Earth, so doesn't count.
Yeah, yeah. You went on a bit of a tangent there. Let's rewind a bit. For one, DC Justice League are more what was it? Entertaining characters to watch. That is extremely true, especially when you look at the cartoons. Mostly DC Justice League cartoons are more entertaining to watch than the Avengers cartoons, for example, and that seems like a weird coincidence to me. Um, you know, but
Instance.
yeah, have you noticed that like the Avengers cartoons are like more boring than the fucking Justice League cartoons?
Is that what a coincidence is?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
very
think that's a
tired. I'm
coincidence.
very tired right now. But anyways, right. Um,
Yeah, I mean, especially the Avengers these days. I mean, I know back in the day, the group of characters was much more interesting, but these days, the Avengers are seen as Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Hawkeye, and Black Widow. Like, not gonna lie, that's not nearly as interesting as Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, uh, The Flash, recently Cyborg as well.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just it's just not as interesting, is it?
yeah, yeah. As well as you did mention how them having like superheroes existed for a while uh in the DCEU makes more sense. I completely agree with that. Like,
Yeah,
it don't make sense even with the Raimi movies, right? And I love the Raimi movies. It don't make sense how, one superhero, suddenly millions of supervillains, right?
yeah. Literally, the Raimi movies. The world is normal. Kid gets spider powers. Then all of a sudden, some goblin appears with super strength and a glider. It's just that is a
Octopus Man,
coincidence. That is what I
fucking
call a coincidence.
Sandman, fucking Alien Geek, fucking what was the last one? Oh yeah, Goblin again, but more controlled, I guess.
Yeah. Same with the MCU. Like,
Yeah,
they had they have some gods in space. They had a strong man in World War II. Decades later, guy in an iron suit. And then ever since then, there's like a new superhero every other day, which just feels kind of odd that one superhero shows up and then more superheroes start to show up more rapidly. That just feels odd, but with DC, it isn't odd because it's been established that superheroes have always been a thing.
yeah, exactly, and especially with that as well, the MCU timeline. What was happening between, the events of, I don't know, Captain Marvel and the events of Iron Man. Like, what was happening there in the superhero business? And again,
Yeah,
it's always on Earth, right? That's another thing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
that is
always
true.
in New York as well. So not only is it just always in Earth, it's most times out of 10 always in New York.
Yeah, something else, something about the MCU that I found pretty dumb is there's 6 Infinity Stones. There's supposed to be I'm gonna start again. 6 Infinity Stones. They're supposed to be spread all across the universe. Universe is pretty big. So not only do half of them end up in the same solar system, they end up on the same planet, in the same continent, in the same country,
In the same
and,
city.
and then in the same city. I mean, how do half of them end up in one city and then
Well,
the
so
other
close
half
to
are
each other
spread?
as well.
Yeah, of course it's New York as well. Yeah, I just thought that was kind of dumb. It sounds like a nitpick, but it's still pretty dumb. And there's also the fact that loads of aliens speak English, even though a lot of people on Earth itself don't even speak English. Yet
In
again,
it. In
yet
it.
again, a nitpick. But I remember seeing a meme about it. Uh, was basically saying that the British basically conquered the entire universe.
But they have subtitles for whenever they go to like a different country, but then when they go to space, they don't need subtitles.
Yeah. So yeah, man, the DCEU, they had a lot of potential. I mean, there are things I do like about the DCEU more
Suicide
than the
Squad.
MCU. What?
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad. Seriously, who knew that in a DC franchise with a Superman movie, a Batman v Superman movie, a Justice League movie, Wonder Woman movie, out of all those, out of all those movies, the best one would be a Suicide Squad film. Who would have
One of
thought?
the worst is a Suicide Squad. One of the best is a Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I know, it's mad, isn't it?
In it.
Just shows as well because the bad Suicide Squad film, which is one of the worst in the DCEU, was a victim of studio interference. And the best DCEU film had no studio interference, which, is kind of rare for DCEU films to, have complete freedom with the directors and writers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the Suicide Squad itself, yeah, it is the best DCEU film, but there's still at least 5 MCU films that I think are better than it. But yeah, I mean, the DCEU, there are some things I prefer about the DCEU than the MCU. Like, for example, there's more variety and they don't feel the need to, like, connect everything to everything. Like, films in the DCEU feel like movies themselves instead of setting up another movie. If that makes sense.
I
But
prefer how the DCEU doesn't need to shove out these shitty lines like Scooby Doo this shit.
yeah, and like I was just saying, how I like that they don't feel the need to connect everything. Uh, I don't think they've balanced it out very well though. Like they should obviously connect some parts to each other, so it actually still feels like a connected universe. But honestly, at the moment, it feels like they're just sort of forgetting that it's even a shared universe, and it feels like everything is separate from each other, but it's still in the same world. And it feels like, what's the point in having a shared universe if you're not going to build up to something and cross over? Just feels kind of odd. And also, something else I like about the DCEU is some of the films are, more mature and for adults. I mean, there was a whole ass penis in the Suicide Squad. So, yeah, just more variety, really. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I prefer about the DCEU.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, they had a lot of potential. I mean, DC, like I said, have the rights to all their characters when it comes to, the films. So there's more freedom for them to do whatever they want.
More
And,
iconic characters.
yeah, more iconic characters and very iconic stories. And they've been around longer, haven't they, really, DC? So there's like more stories to tell than Marvel. You know, they aren't being held back by Disney and all that shit. But it's just wasted potential because it's just as a shared universe, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because the first DCEU film, Man of Steel, came out in 2013. It's now 2022. So next year, the DCEU will be turning 10 years old. And you know what Marvel did when they turned 10 years old? They they brought out Avengers Infinity War. And look at the DCEU. They're just still doing random movie after random movie and not going anywhere with the franchise. They're just sort of making things random, referencing a, another character from another movie every now and then. And that's about it. That's all they're doing. I don't think they'll ever actually build up to anything big. I don't think there'll ever be any sort of payoff for all these movies. There won't be any big culmination. It will just continue doing what it's doing right now and just do random bullshit.
Bro, I think it's Warner Bros owns fucking Scooby Doo, don't they?
Yeah.
Bro, I don't get it. They're trying to copy Marvel with everything because apparently Scooby Doo, right? That Scoob movie is like a cinematic universe of like Hanna Barbera like shows, and they were
Yeah, that,
building up to that. Like Scoob wasn't even
that
like a classic mystery story. It was like, oh my god, Freddy Flintstone or some shit.
yeah, it wasn't even a classic mystery story. There was no who's behind the mask. I remember in the trailers it was full of robots. The villain of the movie wasn't even a Scooby Doo villain. It was some motherfucker from Wacky Races or whatever it was called. Was it
Yeah,
called Wacky Races or something else? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Might have
Some
been
racing
Racing
show.
Stripes. Yeah.
Some racing show. Like what?
Yeah, it's so weird. And it's funny you should mention that because apparently Warner Brothers have shelved the Scoob sequel, which basically means they're currently like not that interested in it and it's not a priority. So I wouldn't be surprised if this Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe dies. And honestly, the DCEU should do the same thing. What I think should happen is Warner Bros. Should just let the DCEU die, focus on, self-contained stories like the Batman and the Joker, and, finally do a Superman film for the first time in, nearly 10 years, because, I'm really missing Superman. Do all that, and maybe in a few years, when they got their act together, maybe they can plan something out for a cinematic universe, get a whole new cast, actually, plan something out, and then maybe then they can compete with Marvel.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, Comic Con as well, man. The amount of shit Marvel announced at Comic Con. Two Avengers movies releasing in the same year. The whole of Phase 5. We even got some trailers, and some of those trailers are leaked online, actually. And what did DC do? They gave us a trailer for Shazam 2, a new look at Black Adam 2, and that's about it, really. Did I say Black Adam 2?
Yeah, I think you did.
New look for Black Adam. My apologies. And that's about it when it comes to the DCEU. I'm pretty sure they announced like a Riddler comic story, and I don't even read, and that's more exciting than what they've done announced with the films.
Black Adam looks good. I'm just tired of seeing fucking Dwayne Johnson in every bloody
Yeah.
movie.
You know Dwayne Johnson was cast as Black Adam in 2007.
Wait, serious?
Yeah, it's taken them this long to make the film. That's how that's how bad DC is. Like they can't commit to anything.
Oh my god. They
So we just
should
take
just
years.
scrap the idea of cinematic universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, this is Warner Bros. So like,
I mean, even like the Batman is becoming a cinematic universe. Like they're doing a Penguin show, they're doing an Arkham Asylum show set in the Matt Reeves Batman universe. And honestly, I'm not that excited for those. I just want it to be like Batman movies, and that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
Isn't
pretty
this the
sure
same company that did fucking what was it? Looney. Oh, the Space Jam 2. This same one.
a new legacy.
Yeah, yeah.
What were you saying about it? My earphone
Because
fell out.
like in Warner Bros, the ones that did Space Jam 2 New Legacy.
Yeah, can't you tell the
Bro,
fucking like?
they don't understand what they're doing. Legit, all they care about is fucking cinematic universes and cameos because that's the new trend now. They don't care about actually making a good fucking movie.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Space Jam 2,
Oh
but it literally,
shit.
yeah, it just looks like one big advertisement. Like most um W- Warner Brothers crossover films are. Uh, I mean, when when a studio wants to like cross over a bunch of popular IPs that they own, it usually doesn't go very well. I mean, the Lego Movie is an exception, and I heard the new Chip and Dale was pretty good. But apart from that, I don't know, man.
Bro, Space Jam. I'm gonna go on a rant a bit. Space Jam 2 is so bad, bro. It's just literally 2 hours of advertisements, bro. Legit, there's a whole montage of them getting like the, you know, Looney Tunes crew together, right? And even that is not like set in the Looney Tunes universe. They go hopping from universe to universe, finding these Looney Tune characters. They go to the
Yeah,
DC universe. They go to I don't know what else. I forgot. Um,
Matrix.
the Matrix, yeah, they went to the Matrix, yeah. And then after that, after near the end, right, they invite everyone to come watch the final game, right? Legit, it was just them just showing off everything. They had like the Scooby Doo truck, they had the Batmobile there. It was like, oh my god, just calm down, please.
Yeah, like they were like all these popular like characters of Warner Brothers, weren't they like the audience for the basketball game?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Well,
Like,
that must be like really distracting then at that point. You're not even watching it for the basketball game. You're watching it for the bigger advertisement
nah,
on your
nah.
screen.
This is what they did, right? They were like, "Oh my God, let's get ready for the big basketball game. We're gonna invite everybody." And then they had like a couple minutes, like 5 minutes of them just showing like these fucking Godzilla coming in, fucking Scooby Doo fan strolling in, and then they do all that, right? And then they just do the game, right? And then it's only distracting whenever they go to what was it, Michael Jordan's family watching or whatever. I forgot who the space, the fucking basketballer for this movie was. Um,
LeBron James.
LeBron James. Yeah, the only times where they show the audience again is when they cut to like the LeBron James family going, "Oh my God, you can do it, LeBron James." It is so stupid, man.
Doesn't sound very good.
It's
Also,
so
talking
bad.
going back to DC, do you care about League of Super Pets spoilers?
Uh, I don't really that movie, right? I'll only watch it because I'm bored, right? I'm not
So
watching it.
that's a no.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't even so spoilers for League of Super Pets, even though DC and Dwayne Johnson have already spoiled it on
Oh,
their Instagram,
I've seen
even though it's
this.
been out for 2 days. What the Black Adam thing,
Yeah, yeah. Fucking
bro?
Subes or whatever the guy is, fucking made a news post about it, and I'm like, I don't fucking care about Sleeper Pets.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because Dwayne Johnson was hyping up the fact that he wants Black Adam to fight Superman. Everyone was thinking, "Oh my God, bring Henry Cavill back so we can have Black Adam versus Superman in the DCEU." And instead, it looks like they're gonna do Black Adam versus Superman in the Super Pets universe.
Oh my god.
There's nothing really. There's like nothing to get hyped about in the DCEU anymore. The only thing I'm hyped about with the DCEU is Michael Keaton's Batman, and I'm not even sure if he has a future in the DCEU anymore because Batgirl's been cancelled, and he was supposed to appear in that, and I don't know where else he'll end up appearing. He was supposed to be in Aquaman 2, but I think he's been cut out and replaced with Ben Affleck, which, yeah, that's quite exciting, I suppose, but I mean, Ben Affleck's probably done with DC after that. I don't know, man. It's just a mess, which is sad because they had so much potential. They could have, made loads of R-rated shit, more mature content. They could have easily surpassed Marvel with, all the characters that they actually own instead of, having to buy it or make a deal with another studio.
Yeah, yeah. Ben Affleck was such a good casting for Batman as well. He looks
Yeah,
like Batman. He gives that out that Batman energy, if you know what I mean. But
he's
then,
got the best body for sure.
yeah, yeah. But then they just waste that.
Yeah, I know. He had a really good suit as well. Yeah. And I like the idea. I like his voice as well. Like having this little like device that can make him sound like almost like a robot, but not in the way that it sounds like he's bored, but the fact that it sounds like his voice isn't human and it makes him sound more intimidating. Like that's better than what they did with Christian Bale's Batman. And I like Christian Bale's Batman, but the voice, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, anything else you want to say?
Anything else? I don't know. Um, we went on a ramble. This whole podcast has been about more DC than Marvel, but it's not like Marvel is at its best right now either because
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
pretty
I,
flawed at the moment.
there's nothing from Marvel that I actually really like dislike. There's nothing that I think is just a pile of shit. But I am starting to feel the quantity over quality, especially with some of these special effects. I mean, what a downgrade! They went
Have
from
you
Infinity
seen?
War and Endgame with the groundbreaking CGI to shit like
Have you seen
I
the
don't know
shot from Thunder and Love?
what with his lightning bolt.
Yeah, that and as well.
Oh, that little black kid.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it's so shit, my god. And
everyone's been memeing.
to be fair, like that isn't. Those aren't the only two times it's like that.
Wow, I'll watch it when it drops on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's so bad. Oh my god, I forgot Eternals exists. Oh my god, that movie was so shit. I'm not even
Honestly, I
gonna
don't.
lie.
Honestly, hot take here. I think it was actually like all right. Like, it had nice visuals. It's probably the most visually stunning film in Phase Four.
Yeah, that's only
Uh,
because half the actors are hot in the movie, so don't count.
I mean, my main problem with the film is that they seem to just try to do too much, and it felt a little bit messy. And there was that one big green alien guy, and it just felt like he didn't need to be in the film. But I mean, apart from that, I thought it was quite good. I mean, the Celestials look cool. Some of the fight scenes were cool, especially the one with Icarus. He's like a Marvel version of Superman who's evil, you know. Gives me Homelander vibes, even though I haven't seen The Boys. I do plan on watching The Boys, though. Looks pretty good. Everyone's saying it's better than everything Marvel's ever done. Which, I mean, honestly, it's probably true.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you plan on watching The Boys?
What's it on?
Amazon Prime? Prime
Amazon
Video?
Prime.
You got Prime Video?
Yeah, I think so. Is it
Yeah.
one of those ones where you have to pay for it, or is it free?
No, it's like because it's like a Prime exclusive. They'll just
Oh, they just
It's
give
just
it
free
for
with
free.
Prime.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. I might watch it then.
yeah. I've been planning on watching it for a while, but I've got a lot of stuff I want to watch. Well, I say a lot of stuff. I mean, like 4 TV shows.
I want to watch
Like,
Squid Game now. Oh my god, Tim
oh
showed me
yeah,
the first episode, man, and it's just like a bunch of people getting shot, and that's just right up my alley.
yeah. It's actually I was actually pleasantly surprised with the quality of Squid Game. I'd recommend it. The
Yeah,
TV
yeah.
shows that are currently on my watch list are Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel, which aren't very long. I could finish both of them in like a day. And the other ones are Breaking Bad and The Boys. Yeah, that's my TV show watch list. I gave up on Stargirl. I mean, it weren't bad, but I just sort of gave up on it, and I don't think I'll start it again. Even though Stargirl is pretty hot.
I wanna watch that. Oh, it's the one with John Cena. The
Peacemaker.
Yeah, Peacemaker. I wanna watch
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I forgot about that. That's also on my watch list. It's on Sky, innit?
Yeah, it's on Sky. I've been needing to watch that, but I've
Yeah, I
been
definitely
too
want to
busy
watch that.
playing fucking Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, that's also on my watch list. A follow up. It's basically a sequel to the Suicide Squad, which is the best DCEU film.
Yes.
So yeah, and Peacemaker. I really like these new superhero characters. Well, I say new, but they've been around for quite a while now. Pardon me. Uh,
I like how Peacemaker, right? He's like he thinks he's doing the right thing for his country, but like he really isn't. That's like very
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I like these superheroes that have become like really trendy these days, where they're trying to do good, but they're like doing it in a really extreme way. Like Homelander in The Boys, John Walker from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Um, who else is there? Uh, fuck. What's that guy called? The comedian from The Watchmen, which you probably haven't watched.
No.
There's what else is there? Who the fuck else was there? Shit. Oh yeah, Peacemaker himself, obviously, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Pretty cool.
also Soldier Boy in The Boys
Soldier
singing
Boy,
Rapture.
tell him.
Not gonna lie, Soldier Boy singing Rapture actually sounds better than when Blondie sang it, and it's her song. Yeah, I really do want to get to watching that, The
Yeah,
Boys,
yeah.
because like Homelander, the character, seeing clips of him, he seems like a character I'd love. You know, I love characters like Patrick Bateman, and he's sort of like Patrick Bateman if he had superpowers. So yeah, that's definitely something I want to watch.
Yes, yes, yes.
Shall we end this? Started waffling on about TV shows.
Yes, we did. We did.
In conclusion, the MCU is indeed better than the DCEU because they actually plan it out. They have a individual who actually oversees everything and makes everything connect in you know a a nice way. And yeah, I mean the continuity is rarely messed up. There are very few continuity errors. It actually feels like there's a point in the films being a part of a shared universe. But the DCEU, unfortunately, doesn't have an individual who oversees everything. And because of that, it is a complete mess. It's not going anywhere. And it's quite sad, really, because, you know, DCEU had so much potential with the fact that they can make films with more variety as they're able to make more mature content and at the same time can do things that appeal more to younger audiences. They are also not as restricted as Marvel because Warner Brothers owns the rights to every DC character, unlike Marvel, who only recently got the rights to popular characters like the Fantastic Four and the X-Men and Silver Surfer and the Fantastic Four villains who, are very famous. And they don't even own the rights to Spider-Man, who is literally the face of Marvel. So yeah, it's definitely easy to say that the DCEU had a lot more going for it, but unfortunately it was all wasted potential because Warner Brothers, the people working there are a lot of morons. So that's all I wanted to say.
Bro, I just saw on the slideshow fucking She-Hulk. Oh my god, her
Yeah,
ass.
yeah. I've actually been meaning to talk about that. I am excited for She-Hulk. I am really excited for She-Hulk. Not even for
I
the plot. Not even for the plot.
I'm gonna watch it just to see her ass because honestly,
Yeah,
if it was anyone else, then I wouldn't be impressed. If it was an ugly woman, I wouldn't be
yeah.
impressed. It looks like the shitty, like, obviously female demographic movie. Um, can you get some shots, please? It's an emergency. Like, I
Oh yeah,
wouldn't
that made me
normally
cringe.
watch that, but
That made me cringe.
but because it's She-Hulk, I'm watching it.
Yeah. I mean, the show, I'm not even expecting the show to be that good. Honestly, I won't be surprised if it ends up being one of the worst things that Marvel has ever made. But I'm still going to be tuning in every Wednesday just to see that She-Hulk hussy.
Yes, 100%. That is the best takeaway you should get from this whole podcast. Fuck
Yeah, it's perfect
DC,
end.
fuck Marvel. She-Hulk is the only thing that matters, and you know, the only thing that can compete to She-Hulk is flipping Poison Ivy. But
Oh yeah, lesbian Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
oh nah, Poison Ivy in the Lego Batman movie.
Oh,
Oh.
she's gorgeous. I wish I was those penguins that Batman brutally got killed.
Kowalski.
Yeah, remember when Poison Ivy was about to
Yes.
kiss Batman and he just got a bunch of penguins to kiss her instead, so he just killed a load of penguins.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, anyway, we should.
That was a great movie. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed my G words. Like if you want, subscribe if you want, because I agree with free will. See you all next time.